What if I told you that I just made a game-changing course that you probably didn't even think that you needed? See, when it comes to web design and you search up on YouTube to try to get some help for your agency, we kind of always see the things that don't drive the needle forward for your business and also your client's business. We see things like design, AI, onboarding client. This is all great, and this is all things to have and master in your agency. But this isn't what is actually going to drive results for your client. It's not going to help you bring consistent referral work. What is driving results for clients. And how you do that is with copywriting. Copywriting is the content on your website. Now, a lot of people brush past this and say, it's just the content. I just do that last. Design matters. Yes, design matters, but your website is absolutely nothing without the content, especially if you're looking to drive leads. So in this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking everything, and I mean absolutely everything that I currently still do for my clients' websites when I build them websites that absolutely kill it with conversions, all down to copy. So if you're a web designer and you're looking to up your web design game, or if you own a service-based business and you're looking to manage your own website and looking to make some changes, then this video would definitely be for you. Whether you're a beginner or you have some experience with web design, and what I can do is I can guarantee you after watching this video, it is going to make a significant change in your landing page or your website, and definitely in your conversion if you follow this video step by step. So let's get straight into it. So why would I make a video about this? Why would I make a video about website copy alone, talking about nothing else but the type of copy that you put on your website design? The reason for that is because copy is the engine of every website. It's 2025, we can all get a decent looking website, but a website that is going to convert versus a website that isn't going to convert isn't due to design anymore, isn't due to the motion graphics or the motion effects on the website. Those stuff are all just add-ons to a website. What's really going to make a website convert, what's really going to push needles forward for businesses is the actual copy on the website, how the website is structured, how the website flows down from the start of the page to the end of the page. And right now we have designers that are using basic ChatGPT prompts, or they're using competitors' text and they're kind of just tailoring it for their client that they're working with. Now, there's nothing wrong with using ChatGPT prompts. It's when you use basic prompts or when you use competitor and you're twisting the words. And here's the thing, guys. I was in the same boat as well. I did these exact same things where I just focused on how the website looked, the design. And I used to think text was something you just, throw onto the website after everything has kind of been done. And that couldn't be further from the truth. So right before we actually go into this tutorial, before we even go to another slide, and because I'm really not trying to bore you guys through this whole video with just slides and slides, I'm going to try to break it down and make it as interactive as possible so you guys actually see what I'm talking about. So as you can see here on this slide, we have two sections right here. This is just a quick highlight just to show you what a difference copy can make, right? So on the left side, we have a basic about us section, about M&S cleaning. It has a bunch of copy and it has a CTA saying learn more. On the right, we have the exact same company, but a huge difference. The one on the right is way more glanceable. It has a shorter description, but the same key information. Underneath that, it has broken down key points from that description. And then underneath that, it has a testimonial, and then the call to action is way more clear and direct. Guys, this is only a tip of the iceberg of what we're going to get into in today's video. But just wanted to show you guys that, and just so we can all just see together a big difference that copy can make. So what makes great copy? You're not gonna have to remember each point or take this down, because in a further slide, I'm actually gonna show you guys my actual strategy that I use, and we're gonna be using it live. So the first thing is, it needs to be clear, and it needs to be clear at first glance, right? You can't afford to have your copy be so complicated that someone needs to read it 4 or 5 times to kind of get your point. The hero section of each page should answer 3 things instantly. What do you do? Who is it for? And where do you do it? Especially if you're running a service-based business. Now, this course is mainly towards people that build websites for service-based businesses, because I'm an active web designer myself. This is exactly what I do currently when I build websites for service-based businesses. So the outcome first messaging is not focusing so much on the nitty-gritties or the features or the technical things, but talking about the outcome, what the user actually cares about, and making that being your first priority. So you have an outcome first messaging approach. A guided flow. What I mean by a guided flow is you can have the best copy on your website, but if your website isn't flowing correctly, isn't adding more clarity, hooking them, or keeping them engaged, all of that copy is never going to meet its fullest potential. Your website needs to be guided properly. Almost like you're predicting your user's next question, your copy needs to be scannable. So not only does it need to be clear at the first glance, but it needs to be so clear that if someone kind of just glances or skims at it, they can kind of get the point. And then most importantly, you need to find out your target audience. You need to know exactly who you're speaking to, because trust me, tone matters. And when I show you guys a few more examples, you're going to 100% agree with me. So now we're going to play a quick quiz. I'm going to show 4 websites. I'm going to show each website for about 10 to 20 seconds. And I'm going to let you guys come to the conclusion whether it's good or bad. You don't need to comment it. You just need to keep it in your mind, because I'm going to show the answers after and break it down. So this is the first website. I'm not going to mention the service. I'm going to let you look at the website, look at everything on the page, the blocks, and come to your conclusion. Now we're going to go to website 2. So that's website 2. We have website 2 over here. And this is website 3. And this is website 4. Okay, so now we're going to get into website 1. So that was an electronical website. Right, so let's read the heading for section 1. We see your trusted partner for all electrical services. Now, firstly, if you read that comes off super corporate. But then in the background, we see this is clearly a residential home. So instantly, this hero section is sparking confusion, because just based off the tone of how they're speaking, and then at the background, we're seeing it's a residential home. So that's instantly driving some confusion. Then we go over here to the subheadline, serving Dorset and surrounding areas. I'm guessing Dorset is the location, so that's fine. Obviously it would be a little bit bigger, but then over here at the end, we see they have a call to action where it says, start your project today. Again, there is nothing supporting that call to action, because if I was, going onto the website and it says start your project today, start my project on what particularly? Because it says electrical services, but there's a lot of electrical services. Do you do repairs? Do you do solar installations? Just a lot of questions that are not answered. And then underneath that, we see there's two call to actions as well, where there's get a free quote and contact us today. Firstly, we'll get a free quote. I don't really know where this page is going to take me to because of the lack of clarity in the copy. It's going to take me to a call link, an email link. Same with contact us today. Where is that going to take me to? A contact page, phone number, email, a form, your Facebook. There's just no clarity with this. And on the right side, we see there's a form. Nothing on the left side supports the form. When you're going to put a form on your hero section, this goes for any type of service. That something before that form, so if either your heading is above the form or it's on the left or the right side, it needs to support people to click on that form. It needs to prompt people to click on that form. For an example, if there was a video on the left side and that video went through the services, testimonials, what they do, and then at the end of the video, or there was a little icon supporting the form, then that would make a lot more sense. Or if at least the text on the left had some services, had some review blocks. So now we're going on to website 2. Website 2, I actually do believe that this was actually a pretty good hero section and it had pretty good copy compared to the first electrical website that we've seen. So with this one here, it's just so simple. Save your energy. So they clearly know who their target audience is. And if you look at their subheadline, we quote online to save you money and time. What this is doing is instantly connecting with people who want to save money and time, literally. Same with their heading, save your energy. So they know exactly who their audience is and they know what angle that they're going to use to sell. And that clearly is finances. Perfect. Now underneath that, so they have 3 of their flagship products. Maybe this is the only products, I don't really know, but they have 3 of them here. Simple. New boilers, solar systems, battery storage. And underneath that, as you can see, copywriting is everywhere. Even the small places, the small things that you think no one sees, but it's adding so much more value in the actual copy. So underneath new boilers, we see with next day installation. Underneath solar systems, we see designed for UK weathers. So I hope you guys are seeing how good this copy is and how consistent they are with knowing who they're talking to. From the beginning to their very first heading, it says save your energy. Underneath that says we quote online to save you money and time. And even their sub headlines for each service is being consistent with their core audience, which is saving them money and time. With the battery storage, change at night for cheap. Using the word cheap. Solar systems designed for UK weather. And then underneath that, they have check out our 1,174 reviews on Trustpilot. Again, that's another great thing that they use the exact number of reviews that they have. So here's another example of great copy. So at the start of it, we see North Dallas. So they go straight into the location. Mosquito, tick, and pest control services in North Dallas. Again, it doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to be words that you've never heard before. It just needs to be structured properly, and you just need to know who you're speaking to. First test, with them saying that they've done over 20 years of discoveries and field testing, they're instantly marking themselves as the authority in their specific niche. So underneath that, they use numbers as well. So they said trusted by thousands of customers. At face value, you might think like this website is fine. Like, why is this website here? Why does it have an X? But guys, just because this website looks nice, it doesn't mean that the copy is doing, amazing. Now, let's say this website is bringing in some leads. I can guarantee you that this website can triple its leads. And actually, in the next slide, the two websites that I had an X on in this slide, I'm going to be doing a live demo where I'm going to redesign it with my exact strategy that we're going to go into the next slide. So you're going to see the changes, and you're going to see what I mean when I say that, yeah, you might think this is a decent hero section with decent copy. It could do probably 10 times better with, actual plan in place. But if we look at it and if we read it, it says best pest control service in San Antonio, Texas. Best is just kind of a throwaway claim. It actually doesn't, here there's no social proof. There's no way, it's not proving that you're the best in San Antonio. And what's even worse is when I scroll down later on this website, they did have some proof that, they are pretty good in their area, but they didn't use it in the hero section, the first thing that people will see when they're on their website. There was just a lot of repetition with the H1 heading, the sub headline, our mission, our vision, nothing really added to the core goal. And I know what the core goal probably is when this business owner decided to set up this website, which was more than likely more leads or more bookings. And then again, the audience, I don't think the website was built with an exact audience in mind, because when you see down with our mission, our vision, and then behind on the photo, we see it's a domestic image. It's the picture with a family. I just feel like the copy and the image and even the colors used on the website is all a little bit off. It's not in sync. Is the best way to put it. So here we're going to go into my approach. And what's my approach? My approach, guys, is the SWOT approach. Nothing fancy. It's so basic. I'm literally going to explain it now. So simple. So what's the SWOT approach? The SWOT approach is basically when you start any web design project, or if you run just an SMMA business, but you don't build websites, but you run ads. I think, myself anyways, I think it's very, very beneficial to do a SWOT analysis, especially if you work with local businesses, because you need to see the business that you're working with. You need to see their strengths. You need to see their weaknesses, especially if they want to run ads. Like, you're all in the same area. You need to understand each other's businesses. You need to find out their prices. Maybe you could tell the client that you're working with, let them know their prices to see if you could do any offers. You just need to be aware. So now, to write great copy, and in this video, we're only going to need to focus on strengths. So you're not going to need to worry about finding out the weaknesses now, the opportunities, or the threats. This is mainly important when you decide to start running campaigns. For copy, we're mainly just going to focus on the strengths. So what do I mean, right? Let's just use an example. Let's say I start working with a client right now. They tell me their business information, they give me their current profile. Let's say they already have a website. You're then going to take maybe a couple hours. Maybe it might take you a day. Maybe it might take you a couple of days. It shouldn't take you really a week or anything like that. It should take you a day or a couple of days, where you find out all of this business's strengths, their best reviews, how many reviews they have in total, how many years they've been working in business, their USP, do they have good their pricing, are their prices actually competitive? For an example, I like to go on Facebook, look at a business's review, find out what type of people kind of keep on coming up on the reviews, so you can kind of get a taste of who this business owner works with, who they kind of get along with, who follows their Facebook page, so you can talk to those type of people, so you don't confuse them, so you don't mix up your copywriting. You're going to take their certifications, the best photos they have, their videos, everything that the business has going for them, all of their leverages, all of their strengths. You're going to have it all in the list. Your list is going to look something like this. Right, so your list is going to look something like this. It's literally nothing confusing. So here I just have a few of the strengths here that I put in for myself beforehand. You can put in more, but here you have a list of the strengths, and then here I have how it can be used. This here is just an example, right? So years in business. So you're going to write down how many years the particular business that you're working with has, the total review rating, and the total amount. Best testimonials. Highlight the actual best testimonials written. So you're going to copy them down. The case studies. Look at the best before and after work. Look at the actual best case study video. We have awards and recognitions, certifications and licenses. This is something that people might brush past as well. But certifications and licenses, this is something people might brush over. But you know, if you are a cleaning business and you go to people's homes, having your licenses and your certifications is so important, because you might brush it up, but someone who really wants your service is also thinking about, I'm letting a complete stranger going into my home also at the same time. So make sure you don't brush over things like that. Your guarantees and promises, your speed and your turnaround time, volume of work completed, your specializations and expertise, your team's strengths, your technology or tools used, community credibility, big names and clients. So once you've taken your time out and you filled all of these blocks in for the business you're working with, now you can get started with actually making some fire copy that's really going to convert for your client. But before we do that, we're just going to quickly brush over what actual pages you need for your service-based business website. Yes, you might have some extra pages here and there, but the ones I'm going to show you here, guys, this is all you need. Maybe you might need an extra page, like obviously you're going to need your privacy policy and your cookie policy, but apart from that, guys, this is all the pages you need to get leads. So here's just a few pages that you're actually going to need for your website. First is the home page. You're going to need an about us page, and then you're going to need service pages. The service pages, you're going to make each page per service. Now with the service pages, guys, you cannot get lazy with the service pages. Each service page needs to have its own unique copywriting. And here I have an example here with this one here. We have a standard and we have a deep clean. Let's say I was to be lazy about it, and I said, I kind of just made a copy and paste page for standard and deep clean. Let's say, for an example, I built the standard page first. I literally just copied the copywriting, went onto ChatGPT, and said, ChatGPT, convert this for a deep clean page. ChatGPT is going to be able to do it. They're going to give you back a very, very basic copywriting. Now, the problem with this is you're not your customer. If someone is really on your website and they're really going into your actual service pages and they're going from a standard clean page to a deep clean page, it's not that they just want to go over to your deep clean page because they just want to check it out. It's more than likely because they want to see what the difference is between a standard clean and a deep clean, because they obviously know a deep clean is going to be far more expensive than a standard clean. So you can't just make lazy pages if you want to charge higher prices. You're going to have to justify it. You might want to have a pricing and packages page, testimonial and reviews page. I recommend having a separate page just for testimonials and reviews. The reason I recommend this is because a lot of people don't understand that testimonials alone can sell your business. So it's like, why not have a page dedicated for people where they could just go read your reviews? And this way, your reviews is actively handling objections. A contact and quote page, service area pages, and then a landing page. This is also something that people miss out on. If you're running ad campaigns, don't run ad campaigns to your homepage. Maybe you could run the ads to, a service page if you actually built it for the core goal of one action. If you didn't, then you're going to need a landing page. If not, I can guarantee you're wasting money. Even though you're getting some leads from like Google ads and you're sending them to your homepage, I can guarantee you could 10 times the amount of leads you're getting by sending them to a landing page rather than sending them to a homepage. There's just way too much distraction, guys. Right, so I hope I didn't lose you guys with my approach. So now we're going to get into my approach. For my approach, rather than explain it with a slide and, go over it point by point, that's a bit boring. What I'm going to do is we're going to go back over here to the two websites that I said could do with some improving. So this one over here, and then we had this one over here. What we're going to do is we're going to edit these exact pages. Right? So the first thing we're going to do is on both pages, I'm going to go through a live strengths research. We're going to go on their Facebook, their Instagram, the web page very, very quickly, and we're going to highlight all of the strengths that this business has, the both of them. After we've highlighted the strengths that the both business has, we're going to jump into our website builder and we're going to absolutely transform these two websites that you're seeing right over here. All right, guys. So let's literally jump into it and let's break down this website and let's try find all of its strengths. Guys, we're going to do this very, very quickly. This is not going to be too hard to do for this one, but like I said, it's not going to take forever. You can give about an hour to do, depending on how much the client is paying, depending on how long you guys work. It depends on your particular scenario. So we're going to read through all of the reviews, see they have all great reviews here. We're definitely going to take note into it. Going to read and try to see which one sells the business the best, like which one actually talks great about the business. So we see here, we just started Urban Pest, and I'm so happy about the outcome. I don't have to write on my toes. Just quickly reading this. See, like this one here is great because this one talks about a problem. This one here is great as well because this one here is justifying their prices. So remember when I said about the testimonial page? See, guys, if you have a page with just testimonial, let's just say if I actually wanted to work with this company and I was having doubts about the pricing, and this comment here and this review here is literally just going to do the objection handling for the business. So it's just so we read it, all of these reviews are pretty great. So they had a total of 22 reviews here. We're going to go over onto their Facebook page as well, look over it, see their community, see if they get comments, see what their pages is like. Doesn't seem like they're too active on Facebook. Oh no, I'm not wrong. They are very active on Facebook. See if they have some reviews. They have a decent amount of followers. Okay, they have another few reviews here. They have 12 reviews here. Excellent service, very professional and highly satisfied. Great competence. I highly recommend Urban Texas. They've been great. I think she left a review on Yelp also, I'm pretty sure. CJ was a professional thing. And also just looking by some of the users' profile picture, it looks like this is they work mainly with residential clients is what it's looking like. These don't look like this is businesses. This look like it's just people. Let me see. Thank you again for this job explaining the details in the yard inside our home. Yeah, so it's clear that they work with mainly residential people, but then when we were on the website, the copywriting was pretty off when I was trying to get that messaging. Okay, so we see that they have quite a few reviews. Let's see if they have some great photos, if they have some real good visuals on their website. So let's go to their current website. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Is this one? So they're about our services. Let's go to pest control here. Let's see, the service pages again are very, very, copy and pasted. Right, no, it doesn't seem like they have much. But he has this. But he does have this. See, this right here is a strength. This photo right here. I think this is an asset for the business. So we're gonna take this. This is fine where it is. So we're gonna take the reviews. We're gonna take this. Let's see if we can find how many years he's been in business. Okay, 21 years in business. Okay, guys. So as I said, we're not going to bore you too much. So that's the information that we're going to take from Urban Texas Pest Control. So I've docked all that down, and when we get into the building, you're going to see how every information I just took there is going to help with the copywriting. Trust me, you'll see. So now we're on this website here. This company here is in the UK. So let's see if we can find some things right here. So what I'm going to do is go over to their Facebook, see how they are on Facebook, check out their photos. So they have some reviews here, but we rewrite it, screenshot or embed the reviews. So this one here won't really do is what I'm trying to say, because it was clearly written. Not saying it's not real, but we don't want to give the users any room for doubt. So right, let's see if they have some reviews here. And you will get situations like this where you're going to have some businesses where they make it very easy to write them some good copy, and some businesses, maybe they're starting up and you have to be a little bit creative. You might have to put a little more energy into it. There's going to be situations like that. So as you can see here, Nigel White. Remember as well, this was the company that wasn't too clear on exactly if they were residential or if they were more corporate. But I'm going to take an educated guess again that these guys are more in the residential route. So just had a power EV charger filled by quickly with this quick clarity and adapted quote within days. Just had the power of a quick response to initial inquiry with the site visit and competitive quote. Okay, so now we know from a testimonial that they have competitive prices. And again, guys, I sound like a broken record. This is why you have a testimonials page, because this is literally the best sales page for your business. Your customers, your past customers will sell for you guys. So, okay, so we know that they have competitive pricing, so we're definitely gonna take note of that. Couple of weeks later, and they're also quick on, so they have good turnaround time also, because a couple of weeks later and it's all done. So they have great turnaround time as well. We see here reliable, responsible workers, very reliable, excellent service. So straight off the bat, we kind of know that they're good at what they do. So let's go over to their other social media pages. So I'll go back onto the website. You see they have an Instagram. Let's see what the Instagram is like. I don't think the Instagram has much, and it's making me log in. I'm not trying to log in right now, but I don't think the Instagram has much. Well, no, the Instagram has, like, I would take these images here. Again, with the images, it's not always about the best quality of images. With the images, I would almost put priority, number one priority with images, how real just does it look and authentic does it look, that this was you, this is your staff, this is your company, and you guys are just taking a picture of your roof that you've just finished, or while you're working on the roof. Great. So now we're going back on their Facebook, and we see they have a few photos here. And it's funny that I mentioned that and I didn't even see this first, but like, this is a great example here. As you can see, this is clearly a stock image, right? If we even go over here to the right one here, the quality here, I'm sure this quality on this one was great before they saved it, but the point is that the quality here was great, but it's a stock image. It just doesn't feel real. But then when we look at something like this, again, this is just a normal photo that he probably took from his Android or iPhone, but there's another great photo. This one here, great photo. Is what the customers are looking for. You know, it's what these are what is building trust. It's showing that you're an authority in the space. Just simple photos like this. He's wearing the uniform. Just photos like this is all strengths. Like, I would be taking photos like this. I'm gonna take photos like this, put it on the website. Like, now what I'm gonna check as well before is I just want to see if they have a Google review. They have some Google reviews. So I'm just gonna copy here, and I'm just gonna search this into Google Maps to see if they have any reviews on Google Maps. Let's see. Okay, I don't think they do. Let me check. Right, they might not have a Google profile. I don't think they do. Go back to the website. Let's see here. Oh no, they do have Google. Okay, they do. Perfect. So they have a Google profile also. So we see here they have 19 reviews. I'm just gonna quickly give this a quick quick read. And let's see. Professional, reliable work. So it's very obvious that they're a very reliable company. That's something that's mentioned a lot of times. Or competitive, competent, and very knowledgeable and helpful. You start a new solar power with it did. A new country, no problems you could ask for. Expecting work, expertise. Okay. Okay, so we have the Google reviews as well. We're gonna take that I'm gonna make a note of that. Also, let's see if we can find out actually how many years they've been in business. Do they have an about us page or something? No, let's see their Facebook if they have it here on their Facebook. Now, obviously, if you're working with the actual business, you can always just ask. But like, I'm not actually working with this business, so I can't just ask how many years they were in business. But yeah, no, they don't seem to have it here. Let me see if they have it here. Let me just see if I can at least see when they made this page. I'll just use that. So if I can find out since when they made this page transparency, is it here? 2019, we're in 2035. So I'm just gonna say 6 years, right? So we're just gonna say that this business was operating for 6 years. Guys, so now that now we have that note, as you can see, some business is gonna be easier than others. The first business was easier to find some strengths, but this one we found some strengths. I'm sure if I knew the business owner, I could have found even more stuff, but we found definitely enough to make a huge improvement on both of their websites. So let's get straight to it. All right, guys, so I was about an hour, probably an hour, 20 minutes with this section. So I'm just going to run over how we actually came across redoing this this hero section. So we use the strengths to use so basically we use the strengths of this business to help us write the copy, right? So the first thing we see here is keeping San Antonio homes pest free since 2004. We explicitly use the 2004 rather than using an amount of years, just because the number 2004 looks like they've been around for much longer, right? And underneath that, we have pest control that protect your home. For the main heading, we don't need to have anything too fancy, too wordy. It just needs to be simple. They do pest control and it protects the home, nothing more and absolutely nothing less. And then underneath that, we have with results you can see in as little as 24 hours. So again, we have a little description underneath there that is adding to the main goal of this website. You know, we don't just have copy in anywhere of the website. You don't have copy anywhere of the in the website that doesn't add to the goal of what this page or what this whole website was made to do. So now underneath that, we have a call to action button. Call now for same day service. With the call icon there. This is so clear. You know, we're being so clear here. It's a call button. If you click this button, it's going to take you to a call link or a call page. And you are calling for same day service. So you're also telling them what they will get when they call and when they get someone on the phone. So they know exactly why they're calling and they know exactly what's going to happen after they've clicked the button. Over here on the top right, we have, so what's been bugging you? I was going to have a list of services, but then I went back on the actual original website and I seen that he had a bunch of services. So if we put a bunch of services up here in a list, it will kind of just be a bit too, it'll be a bit too long. It will just look ugly because there will just be a long list of a bunch of services. But I also did want to have some type of clarity of what type of pest control that this business did in the hero section. Why? Because we do have a form over underneath here. And if you remember what I said at the start of the video, I rarely do ever put forms anywhere in a website if what's on the page before someone looked at the form helps someone to click that form, or if what's on the content on the website prompts someone to click that form. If not, having a form is usually a waste of space on the page. But for here we have, so what's been bugging you? And then we have a list of all the different type of insects or pests that this particular company does that we got straight from the original website. And as you see, as the heading, we have kind of like a little pun here. So what's been bugging you, because they're a pest control company. And then under here, we have all of the reviews that they have. So if this was actually built and developed and I was working for the company, obviously this would be a little bit more neater. I'll add some links, but again, we're just focusing on the copy. But even at that, just the design of how everything came about with the short amount of time just shows you how having all of the business's strengths beforehand can help you just come up with ideas like this, so you're not worrying about copy. Because building websites and all this stuff isn't what takes long. Is the idea, is the thinking that takes the long time. So anyways, here we have the photo that was down below on his original website that I do believe would have been better up on the website. And then behind, I still kind of have the exact same photo that he had, where it's just a family with like, you know, in a sofa, but this one is just a little bit harder to see. This is what the website looked like before. Best pest control in San Antonio, Texas. Was very vague, didn't really speak to anyone, and versus what we have over here, much more clear, much more simpler, and getting straight down to the point. So now we go back into this electrical website. There was something I noticed that I didn't notice about that. There was something I noticed that I didn't pick up on in the last clip when I was looking for the strengths. On the actual Facebook page, on the bio, this company, they have 3 industries they work with. They do residential electrical work, they do industrial electrical work, and they do corporate electrical work. Now, knowing that, it would be impossible to make one page that you're going to send to all of these, because the way you're going to structure your website, the type of copy they're going to use for your website, you're going to have to separate it. They're going to have to make separate pages, one for residential, one for commercial, and one for industrial. That's the type of levels that you have to take if you really want to get conversions from your website. So with this one here, obviously I already mentioned the things that you should change and stuff like that. And then to top it up, what I would do is make separate pages for each industries, because they're just a bit too different. You know, corporate, industrial, then homes, you're gonna have to separate that.